Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Here's your news for September 7th, 2019. And here are your headlines for today. Huge spoiler for WWE Clash of Champions. Top WWE wrestler has weekend off. CM Punk comments on WWE providing vacation time. WWE and AEW fighting to sell tickets. Fascinating connection between The Big Show and Steve Urkel. Matt Riddle calls co-workers pieces of trash in interesting video message. Huge horsewomen match set for next week's Raw. Ric Flair signs Adidas deal and he's coming for Nike. Former WWE superstar running for public office. We're starting off with WWE news and a potential spoiler, as since his return to WWE, Bray Wyatt has shown that there is nobody who will stand in his way, and it seems The Fiend is now looking to claim the Universal Championship. Though WWE haven't revealed if Wyatt will face Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman for the title at Hell in a Cell, local advertisements in Edmonton are listing Wyatt versus The Architect for live events, implying Rollins will retain the title next Sunday at Clash of Champions.
Edmonton, join the WWE Universe for a can't-miss main event when Universal Champion Seth Rollins meets his newest nightmare. Let me in. For the first time in Edmonton, see Seth Rollins battle The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
I don't ever back down from a fight. So The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, I will see you in the ring.
Don't miss this epic collision when WWE Live comes to Edmonton. Tickets are available.
The Rollins-Wyatt match is set to take place on September 21st, just 6 days after Clash of Champions, and with Hell in a Cell set for October 6th, the company will need to start building the matches for the Barbaric pay-per-view very soon. With that in mind, expect Rollins to walk out of Charlotte, North Carolina next Sunday, still the Universal Champion, but he will have the fight of his life ahead of him next month when he faces The Fiend inside the demonic structure. We're moving on to some news from next week's Raw. As though they may have been opponents at WrestleMania 35, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair will team up on the next installment of the Red Brand. On the upcoming Raw, which will take place inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, Flair and the Man will face Sasha Banks and Bayley in a battle of the Four Horsewomen. These four superstars are certainly no stranger to each other, having battled in individual feuds in the past. Though with the rumor of brands being locked down with a draft next month, this may be the last chance fans get to see these four superstars in the ring together. At Clash of Champions, Banks will face Lynch for the Raw Women's title, while Bayley will put her SmackDown Women's gold on the line against the Queen, so expect big things when these four collide in just a few days. This epic tag match isn't the only bout that's been announced for Raw though, as Cedric Alexander will face US Champion AJ Styles in a non-title bout. This match comes after an angle last week when the OC attacked Alexander during a backstage interview, allowing Baron Corbin to get the advantage and the win to advance for the King of the Ring semifinals. Corbin, who will face both Samoa Joe and Ricochet in the semis on this week's Raw, is already calling himself King, and he's just 2 victories away from making it official. And though he may be out of the tournament, a win over AJ Styles could land Alexander a United States title match, and with the phenomenal one without an opponent for Clash of Champions, this match could happen next Sunday. Another huge match for Raw has also been announced, as Rey Mysterio will battle Gran Metalik in the first ever match between the two. Recently, Rey considered retiring after losing a 2 out of 3 falls match to Andrade, until he was stopped by Dominic, who kept his father going. And if all that isn't enough to get you watching Monday Night Raw, there will also be a special appearance by Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin, who is no stranger to headlining MSG, will serve as the moderator for the Braun Strowman vs. Seth Rollins contract signing for Clash of Champions, as last week's attempt was thwarted by the OC. Even at the age of 54, Austin is still in great shape, and may have to bust out a stunner or two if anyone else gets involved. From one WWE Hall of Famer to another now, as Kurt Angle recently took questions from the fans during a Facebook Q&A. When asked about the rumored WrestleMania 22 match that never happened against The Undertaker, Angle said both wanted the match after stealing the show at No Way Out 2006. He said, "The whole reason Undertaker and I locked horns at No Way Out in 2006 is because we both wanted a match against each other at WrestleMania that year. So the boss gave us the next best thing, a match the month before WrestleMania. Our match at No Way Out could possibly be one of the greatest matches in history. Instead of facing each other, Angle would go on to lose the World Heavyweight title to Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, while the Phenom would extend his WrestleMania record to 14-0 with a casket match win over Mark Henry. Over to AEW, and the company has made a lot of history in its short existence, and at All Out, history was made again when Aubrey Edwards became the first female referee to officiate a world title match. Not only that, but Edwards proved she meant business when she got into an altercation with Chris Jericho during the match, and the new AEW World Champion spoke about requesting Edwards for the match on his podcast. He said, "I think she's the best referee in the company. We have some good referees, but I like her style, and I like the fact that we have the first female referee officiating a world title match." Jericho would later explain that he wanted to avoid a comedy Ric Flair-style spot with Edwards during the match, so when the pair had an altercation, Jericho backed off quickly, respecting her authority. A day after All Out, Edwards announced that she signed a full-time deal with AEW, though she may have to reprimand Y2J again, as the Fozzy star would lose the AEW World title while having dinner that day. Well, there's no shortage of stars who could join AEW, and if his issues with WWE continue, Ric Flair may soon find himself in the new promotion. Recently, Flair and the WWE have been locked in a battle over the term "the man," which is used by Becky Lynch, but the Nature Boy believes belongs to him. Despite this friction with the company, Flair isn't letting it get him down, and recently told TMZ that he had signed a new deal with Adidas to bring out his own shoe. The 16-time world champion didn't give many details about his new shoe, but said he'd love to have Kanye West help with the design, and that the new Air Flares will push Nike down to number 2. Back to WWE now, and with the rumored draft set to take place next month, one person who will undergo a major change is Corey Graves. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Graves will be exclusive to either Raw or SmackDown when the draft takes effect, instead of pulling double duty on both brands. Whichever way Graves will go, this will leave a spot on the other brand for a new voice, so only time will tell who it will be. Another commentator who had big news this week is Renee Young, as rumors have continued to build that the Canadian will host the new studio show on Tuesday nights on FS1. The new show will be something like UFC Tonight, in that it will cover the latest news and matches from WWE. Details are still fuzzy on what the rumored new show will actually be like, but with the SmackDown launch on Fox happening in a couple of weeks, hopefully fans get a better picture very soon. One superstar who fans may not see on either Raw or SmackDown Live anytime soon is Ronda Rousey, as the former Raw Women's Champion continues to be a huge name despite her absence. Recently, Rousey's page on WWE.com was moved from the Raw roster to the alumni section, though we doubt this means she'll never appear again. What we do know is that the Hot Rod will be a part of the next season of Total Divas, which has already been filmed and will premiere on E! On October 2nd. It would be a huge loss for WWE to drop Rousey, who is arguably their biggest signing ever, so hopefully the former world champion and the company can work out a deal. While it's unclear whether fans will see Ronda Rousey in the ring again, that's also the case for NXT's Kacy Catanzaro. Catanzaro, who reportedly asked for her release earlier this week, is apparently still with the company, and her boyfriend Ricochet recently commented on the matter saying, "She's still with the company. She's not retired at all and she's not injured. It's a tough sport and we're all hurting, but there's nothing wrong with her." The former US champion would also say that he doesn't know if she'll wrestle again, and at the age of 30, Catanzaro still has her whole life ahead of her if she decides to leave the wrestling world. One superstar who knows all about trying ventures outside of WWE is the Big Show Paul White, as the 7-footer has done plenty of acting in films while being a wrestler. Show, a 7-time world champion, recently revealed that he will have his own Netflix show titled The Big Show Show and will have Jaleel White as his co-star. Our older viewers will remember White as Steve Urkel in the popular 1990s classic sitcom Family Matters, but now at the age of 42, it'll be interesting to see what White brings to the table when he partners up with the WWE's reigning giant. We're going back in time to WWE Tough Enough 2004 now, and though he may not have won the competition, that hasn't stopped Dan Rodimer from pursuing his dreams. Rodimer, who came up short in the competition that also featured The Miz, Ryback, and eventual winner Daniel Puder, will be running as a Republican in Nevada for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. Like many politicians, Rodimer's past has come back to haunt him, as he has a battery charge to his name, which he calls unfortunate. The case isn't as bad as it seems, though, as Rodimer reportedly stepped in to protect a wife's friend and threw a man taunting her to the ground. Though the idea of a wrestler holding office may seem ludicrous to some, Rodimer isn't the first superstar to aim high, as WWE alumni Jesse Ventura and Kane have both served. We're looking once again at the war between AEW and WWE, and though the new promotion recently put out tickets for TV shows in Chicago and Charlotte, fans do have other options. Recently, WWE also put out tickets for these areas as well, with tickets still on sale for Clash of Champions, which will take place in Charlotte next Sunday. Though the pay-per-view will be long over when AEW rolls into town on November 6th, the move is still notable. In Charlotte, AEW will be hosted at the Bojangles Arena, a much smaller venue than the Spectrum Center that Clash of Champions will happen at. As for Chicago, the Wrestling Observer noted that AEW has already sold 4,000 tickets for their next Sears Center show, while WWE will host Survivor Series in the Windy City on November 24th. Not only that, WWE will also be doing a 4-night stint in Chicago, with NXT TakeOver, Survivor Series, Raw, and SmackDown reportedly all selling well, according to The Observer. Speaking of NXT TakeOver, one superstar from the developmental brand who isn't exactly making friends is Matt Riddle. This week, the original Bro sent out a selfie video message to his co-workers, calling them, quote, pieces of trash for not giving him a ride. Riddle would follow this up with a tweet saying that none of his co-workers like him, though we doubt this passive-aggressive tone will win over many of his fellow superstars. Sarcastically claiming that the superstars didn't pick him up because their cars were too full of so much talent, this isn't the first time Riddle's made headlines this year, as his repeated digs at WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg have made him a controversial superstar. According to the video, former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa said that there was some policing going on with the roster, but also had some not-so-PG language for the King of Bros. Whether this is part of an angle or something more serious is currently unclear, though it seems Riddle should be more careful about who he ticks off backstage. One wrestler who knows all about backstage is CM Punk, who has kept his distance since walking out of the company in January 2014. At StarCast last week, Punk was astonished to discover that WWE superstars were now getting vacation time, with Universal Champion Seth Rollins and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch recently having some time away to celebrate their engagement. After the pair were spotted at a Chicago Bears game, Punk poked fun of the idea of WWE giving their employees vacation time, presumably because he didn't receive much time off during his tenure with the company. Another superstar who recently has been allowed time off is Braun Strowman, who will reportedly not be appearing at any WWE live events this weekend. Strowman, who has been a consistent mid-card and main event star on Raw for the past few years, could probably use the time off to rest before arguably the biggest night of his career at Clash of Champions. At the show, the Monster Among Men will team with Seth Rollins to defend the Raw Tag Team titles against Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, who qualified for the match by surviving a tag team gauntlet. Win, lose, or draw, Strowman and Rollins will then face each other later in the night for the Architects Universal title in arguably the biggest match in the Monster's young career. Though fans won't see Strowman at live events this weekend, he'll be at Madison Square Garden on Monday, where he will sign the contract to make his Universal title match official with the Beast Slayer. With the signing taking place in the world's most famous arena and being moderated by Stone Cold Steve Austin, Raw could be the first night of a history-making week for the Monster, culminating in becoming the new Universal Champion at Clash of Champions. Well guys, that's our news for today. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.